Hi, welcome to Let's Talk About This Eclipse that's going to happen on Sunday, the 27th at 9:51 p.m. Central Daylight Time here in Kansas City. And just to get something out of the way, tomorrow, if you're listening to this before September 23rd, the fall equinox, we'll be doing a course on mediating Libra from 6:30 to 8 o'clock here at Qualia Threads in the J Bamboo building at 5945 Woodson. So hope you can drop by. Anyway, this eclipse is big. Okay, it's big based on a number of reasons because it's a super moon. It's closer to the Earth than normal. The moon is. It's going to appear at least 14% larger. Full moons represent oppositions between the sun, our consciousness, and our moon, our subconsciousness, our legacy, that which we came in with, the body type, the imprinting from our family, birth order, those so-called immutable characteristics and instincts are all lunar. So when the moon is blocked, because of the pathway and her light is blocked and we get that darkness, this is the time period where the present can be highly personal and our future. So we get to be able to look at and reflect on our past because we have some distance to it. And one past that I do want to say politically that might weave in is that 19 years ago, September 27, 1996, that the former leader of the Democratic Party in Afghan was executed, Mohammed Najibullah, and they captured the president after they captured Kabul. This is the Taliban. So we can look at the weaving of the past, and some of the comments and requests that I got to talk about this full moon have been about NEST, New Earth Strategic Transformation, which I got some information on that, talking about upping our multidimensional diagram and our ability to create our futures faster than usual. And I will say that this full moon is in direct connection to the Venus star portal that happened on August 15th. So you can even look at your growth from July 3rd and 4th, which was the first time that Venus, when she was moving forward, hit the 23rd degree of Leo. Then she aligned with the Sun and Earth as her morning star phase in Leo on August 15th, and Hareda Viola Davis being the first African American woman to win an Emmy. She's also a Leo. So there's that powerful Venus star artistic representation coming into her chart just by that alignment, bringing her that coveted prize that she's probably earned many times over. But the point is, and then the last one is on September 27th. So that's July 3rd, 4th, look what you're doing on the holidays, August 15th, and then September 27th. Now understand, the sun will be in Libra. That's the fall equinox, the letting go of the egocentric ideas so we can form a relationship with our higher spiritual self. And so understand that this eclipse is powerful in the sense that it's a mediating between that lower instinctive self, taking, all things personally, being that warrior side, which is why I brought up the Taliban capturing Kabul, and then the execution of their leaders at that time. Well, there is this aspect to Aries and Libra that affects all of us. We all have Mars and Venus somewhere in our charts. Venus is still not out of her shadow. She won't be until October 8th, 9th. And what that indicates is that until she starts to cover new ground, we could still be going back over the things that we've maybe left behind. And the degree for Libra is a man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world to his students. This is the Sabian symbols, if those of you who are familiar with Elisa's Willer's and Dane Woodard's work from the middle of last century. Point is that teaching the students, so we're talking about guidance and protection. We're also talking about moving away from dogma or arrogance. So Aries and Libra being the I am, and then the we are, that moon that's being eclipsed at the 5th degree of Aries, the symbol there is a white triangle is seen, and it has golden wings. So with the asteroid Vesta conjoined that full moon, Vesta represents devotion. So we have to look at, what principles of spirit and identity are we devoted to? How can we self-transcend? Well, full moons represent themselves through opposition. And so you can learn a lot about your lower self and your higher self via the opposite sign. So what does it look like when you have a sun in Aries? What's the shadow, or what do you need? Well, you need the balance from Libra. Too much self-centeredness and thinking everything is about you, Aries, can easily get you being your calls not being returned or people not being around you. So you need to take a page out of Libra's book and say, hey, what's going on with you? True showing true concern. And conversely, Libra, too much concern about the other, and that's also something with you evening star Venuses. You can be, your identity can easily be eclipsed. Yes, pun intended. Your identity can easily be eclipsed in the sense that we don't know who you are. So we're actually having a relationship with ourselves because too much yes really is, what's there, basically. So get thee to some healthy conflict, Libra. Then the Taurus Scorpio axis, dealing with security issues. Taurus is physical, financial security, even hormonal, and in the physical body. So too much focus on the physical world can lead towards sometimes just superficial and very much concerned about, how things look in terms of whether they have the best car or the most expensive article or whatever. So they need the Scorpio psychological aspect of understanding the invisible world, the world, the psychological world, the world of why people do what they do. And Scorpio having a really good understanding of others and why they do what they do. When Scorpio doesn't have a connection to the physical world or making its own resources, it can easily use its insight to maneuver or to manipulate others to its own advantage, and nobody wins. You know the frog and scorpion story. Gemini and Sagittarius, too much Gemini can gather a whole bunch of information and then not know the meaning of any of it, and constantly going from situation to situation out of curiosity seeking, gossiping without, again, having any concern for the higher thought or the higher meaning. Sagittarius, your shadow can be just a scattering, adventurer, a kind of not being grounded in the world of facts and being given over to dogma or my belief is better than your belief, a la September 11, 2001. Then Capricorn Cancer is about being important. Cancer wants to be important in his home, family. Capricorn in the outer world. Well, too much all about the home and hearth can make Cancer, feel a sense that, I'm not really, I'm not your doormat. And so it has to feel some importance when people who Cancer doesn't feel like, well, you would say that was good anyway. So that inner critic that's constructive. And then Capricorn, you go out and you save the world and you come home and nobody's speaking to you at home. So Capricorn has to know to balance that ambitious side of them to the actual home and private life. And then that axis, Leo and Aquarius, of independence. That independence, participation. Leo is the consummate artist, the consummate one who seeks to understand their individual spirit and how it manifests through its multiple creative mediums. Well, it can be so focused on the self, much like Aries, that it can get caught up in the task and not realize how many people were there helping them, the audience, so to speak. And Aquarius can be all things to all people. And forget that it's okay to say, this is who I am, not in reaction to society and its mores, but this is who I am regardless if anybody is looking or what have you. So developing that heart-centered, joyous focus that Leo naturally has. And then last and certainly not least, the axis of service, Virgo and Pisces, can have a sense of physical service. The Virgo, dutifully, obligatory, serving, doesn't know who it is unless it's not working and serving others, and then quietly resenting it. So it can need to learn how to retreat into or escape into higher transcendental realities. And then Pisces can be out there, still serving, but to a point where it's giving, overgiving even. And then Pisces looks at, has to discern how much to give or to have true value regarding its actual gifts that it's offering. So Virgo can bring in a little bit of that Mercury seeking opportunity, but knowing that it's creating win-win situations. And this was just an overview of that to give you a taste of how you can learn a lot about yourself through the opposites of your sign. And that's what this eclipse in Aries Libra, but technically in Libra, I mean in Aries, is getting us to really understand who we are on core spiritual levels so we can continue to evolve as a collective. This is Quan signing out. Talk to you soon.